Welcome in to Tiger Den Sports. I'm your host, Jason Darcy, also known as the Blind Tiger. And today we got a good show here. Saints hired Klint Kubiak, Doug Marrone got fired. So we could discuss some Saints things that's going on. And I have a guest here, co-host, JJ. Welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We go to church together. We're good friends now.
Yes.
He loves the Saints.
Diehard Saints fan.
Yeah. So y'all do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, like button, share button, and notification bell so y'all don't miss when we go live. He's gonna join me on a lot more streams now. So
yeah, mostly just Saints. Oh, sorry.
No, you good? Go ahead.
Yeah, mostly just Saints streams, just discussing. Hopefully what during the season we can get together and discuss. What happened during the game and what's going on. And all that good stuff. So.
Yep. So you excited about this? Your first show?
Yeah, a little nervous, but hey, I think we all are. Whenever we start our first show, but yeah, I'm excited to be here. So
good. All right. So what you think about Klint Kubiak being hired as the offensive coordinator for the Saints?
I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen. Because I think it was time for a change. I mean, as all Saints fans agree, it was time to move on from Pete Carmichael. Because after the last couple of years, our offense wasn't, explosive, and it wasn't performing well as it should have been with all the talent we had on that team. I mean, now, granted, we didn't have a great quarterback last year. Year before, excuse me. But it looks like we got Derek Carr, and even with Derek Carr, it seemed like our offense wasn't, clicking on all cylinders as it should have been.
Right, I agree with that, and like you said, it was time to get a new regime in there.
Yes, definitely.
Because, basically, when Dennis Allen got hired, he kept on the whole Sean Payton staff.
Yes, correct.
And I think they tried to run it as a Sean Payton team, and it's not a Sean Payton team. So
no.
To see Pete Carmichael going, I think that was a good move. But, yeah, Klint Kubiak being hired, I'm excited to see what he brings to the Saints. I think he might be a better dynamic play caller than Pete Carmichael. So, and Dennis Allen is a defensive guy. He doesn't know much about the offense. So it's good to see him bring in a guy like Klint Kubiak to replace Carmichael that at least might know what he's doing.
Correct. I agree 100%. And plus he's a young guy. I think he's 36 years old, and he's a part of a great offense right now. He's going to the Super Bowl as a passing coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. And look how Brock Purdy has performed this year. I think he did a good job as a passing specialist with Brock Purdy, for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe maybe that's a good sign. Look what he's doing with Brock Purdy. He might be able to do that with Derek Carr. You never know.
Yeah, and also, too, he was offensive coordinator for Minnesota Vikings, and he has some experience in that area. And, of course, his dad's Gary Kubiak, who won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning in 2015, I believe, with the Denver Broncos. So, he has a lot of experience and knowledge, I believe.
Yeah.
So he can bring that to the Saints organization, and hopefully, we can perform to where we need to be. And, now, granted, we need a couple more changes on the offense, I find. As far as coaching goes, I believe we got, a good coach that we have. And, we still need a offensive line coach, and then a quarterbacks coach. I heard Ronald Curry's left for Buffalo. So now we're looking for a quarterback coach. And then, and I think that was it that left as far as for the offensive coaches so far.
Yeah, I believe so. It's Doug Marrone left, Ronald Curry left. Do you think that's a big hit with Ronald Curry leaving?
I'm not 100% sure on that because he's been there a couple years, and he was Derek Carr's coach this year, the quarterback coach. And how do you feel Derek Carr performed overall as a quarterback?
I don't find he did that great of a job. To me, it looks like Derek Carr doesn't really care. He doesn't
Yeah.
care if he makes the mistake. Um, I look at Derek Carr. You remember the old Saints days with Aaron Brooks?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Derek Carr reminds me of Aaron Brooks.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. I mean, we don't want to relive those Aaron Brook days.
No, not at all. But
No,
I'm
man.
just Aaron
No.
Brooks didn't care if he threw an interception. He would smile. He wouldn't care. And that's what
Well,
Derek Carr reminds me of. If he throws the interception, oh well, he'll just blame the receiver. It's not on
no.
you.
Remember the pick six with Atlanta? He threw that pick six. I forgot the guy's name. Whoever it was on the Atlanta Falcons team, and you see him joking with the guy. It's like, wait, whoa, what? You just threw
Yeah,
a pick six to the guy. I mean,
that's
come
right.
on, dude.
Yeah,
But yeah, I find that he don't take blame for his actions. Like, I mean, as a leader, you're supposed to, take responsibility of your mistakes. I mean, you have to fess up and take responsibility. You can't just get mad at your receiver. And I mean, he argued with the offensive lineman too. Oh, what's his name? I forgot his name. Dang it, my mind's foggy right now.
the
Oh,
center, Cesar Ruiz, Eric McCoy.
Eric McCoy. Yes, I
Yeah,
knew his name was Eric. I couldn't think of it. Man, yeah, but him and Eric McCoy got in a little scuffle. Excuse me. I mean, he's supposed to be a leader, but at the same time, you gotta, like I said, take responsibility.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. That's right. I mean, if you're gonna be a good leader, you have to. But Derek Carr is who he is. He was like
yeah,
that on the Raiders.
yeah.
You know, so it's not like, and what, he's 32 years old, 33 years old now.
I believe he's. Let me see. I can look that up right quick.
Yeah, you can look it up real quick. But I mean, he is who he is. He's a veteran now of the game, and at this point, I don't see him changing from who he is.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
32 years old, and I believe he's been in the NFL for like what almost 10 seasons now. It's gonna be his. I think it's gonna
yeah,
be his 10th season this season coming up.
right. So if
And
he
I mean,
hasn't changed, go ahead.
I'm looking at his stats all these years, career stats, and I mean, last year he had 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. Which ain't too bad. I mean,
No,
3,878 yards. I mean, he did have some good season. I mean, in Las Vegas, he had a couple. It looks like, but I mean, I think he. I mean, I might be wrong. I think he might have, the ability to get better. I mean, hopefully, this new offensive coordinator can help him, get better.
yeah,
And I mean, help out with the offensive altogether, get better because that was
mhm,
our you know, weakest side of the ball last year was the offense, and that's why I mean, the defense would get out there and they would make the stops, they would make the plays needed, but the offense would not,
right.
and the defense would get tired. I mean, during the game, you get tired as a defense trying to stop, and trying to let your offense come in and win, help score points, but that wasn't happening. That was the problem.
Yeah, that was. And do you think it's all Derek Carr's fault, or do you think it has something to do with the offensive line play as well?
Well, if you remember, offensive line was horrible in the first half of the year.
Right.
I mean, they were horrible. I didn't look up the stats for offensive line, but
But
yeah,
yeah,
man,
I know Trevor Penning
yeah,
did not look good at all for sure.
he didn't pan out like everybody thought he was going to pan out. And I mean,
Right.
and of course, injuries do play a factor in the health of an offensive line. I mean, you know, look at was it Super Bowl 55 with Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady. I mean, his offensive line was you know,
Mhm.
pretty much destroyed. I mean, you know, and he was running for his life most of the game.
Yeah.
Didn't even score a touchdown.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, offensive line is one of the most important aspects of the team. One of the most important parts of the team.
Yep. I agree. Yeah. Without the offensive line, it doesn't matter who's back there.
No,
Uh,
Tom.
I mean,
I mean,
was that?
Tom Brady. If he didn't
Yeah.
have a good offensive lineman, he was. I don't think it would be Tom Brady that we know of.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I say it's kind of offensive line and quarterback.
correct.
Everything got to work together. I mean,
Yeah,
even if you look at the running backs, I don't find we had a good running game either.
no, we did
But
not.
that's due to the passing game, the offensive line. So
Correct.
it goes back to everything got to work together.
Yeah, it's like it has to be a well-oiled machine working
Right.
together. All the parts have to come in and work together. And
Yeah. And so hopefully Klint Kubiak coming in, he's going to bring. I'm not sure who he's bringing in, but I heard it's somebody from the 49ers for the offensive line coach. He's going to hire his own quarterback coach. So
correct. Yeah,
hopefully whoever he brings in, it'll help. It has to get better, don't you
yeah,
think? Yeah.
yes.
So
And
go ahead.
I mean, it has to get better for Dennis Allen's sake too, because I think he's going to be on the hot seat this year. I mean, he's probably on the hot seat right now, but I mean, if we don't make the playoffs this year, I think he's gone. I mean, at this point, because you got a good offensive coordinator coming in now, and I mean, you still got the talent there, but I mean, it's all up to you.
Yeah.
A lot of the Saints fans would be mad if he's still be on the team next year and we don't make the playoffs or have a great season. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad we had the season last season just because of the fact that we were 9-8 and we had a winning season.
Right.
That's I guess that's the only bright side was we had a winning season. We were 9-8. So, but still, we missed the playoffs. That's the problem.
That's right. And I think a lot of Saints fans was hoping Dennis Allen got fired.
Yeah.
But at least we made he probably had to make this move
Yes.
to keep his job.
Correct.
So because that's how it usually works. If the coach doesn't get fired, he has to make some type of move to keep his job.
Correct. Correct. And a lot of Saints fans would have been upset if we would have kept Pete Carmichael. I mean, we would have. It would have been hard to watch games and just sit there and just be into the game. Don't get me wrong, I love the Saints to death, and I'm a big fan. But sitting there, it's like that's the definition of insanity. You keep on doing the same thing, expecting different results, and you would have kept all the same personnel and been like, well, how are we going to do well this year if we kept everybody? And we all know Pete Carmichael's not a good offensive coordinator, so why are we still keeping him?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, exactly.
I'm glad to see that they finally made that change. And I honestly thought Ronald Curry might have been the next one to be in the OC. I thought they would have stayed in house, or John Gruden, because John Gruden recently got hired for the Saints. I think he's a what you call that?
An analyst or something.
Oh, senior advisor.
Okay.
To the Saints. So, but I mean, I'm just excited.
No, go ahead. I'll finish my thought after. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen this year. Now, I don't want to get my hopes up too much because last year, before the season started, I was like, yes, we got Derek Carr. Maybe something's going to change. But hopefully there's changed. Hopefully we see some progress, like major progress, and start winning some more games. Because, I mean, we had one of the easiest schedule last year, and we were 9-8. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have won more games than that. We should have won the division at least.
Right. And we don't need Derek Carr to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No. I mean, he could be a top 10.
Right.
I mean,
we just need a competent quarterback that can make the right reads, make the right throws. You don't have to throw for 4,500 to 5,000 yards.
No.
You don't need to do that.
No.
I mean, if you keep Alvin Kamara, which I hope they do.
Yes.
And they don't trade him, I think they can do really good things if Derek Carr is just a competent quarterback.
Correct.
So.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, most of those players are getting old, like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, and, I see them being on the same team maybe a couple more years, and hopefully by then we can start looking on that side of the ball and start drafting future players. And maybe we might have a new head coach who will bring in a great defensive coordinator, I mean.
And Dennis Allen, he's a great defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He's always been that.
Oh, yes. But he's not a good head coach. I mean, he's not a good general, as Matt Moscona calls him. And I mean, you have to look at his records while he was at Las Vegas too, and that shows you as well. Like he wasn't a great coach back then, and I understand. I think Las Vegas was in, Oakland Raiders back then. They were their team was crazy, falling apart too back then. So I guess that's kind of why they gave him a little bit of breathing. I mean, room with this, like gave him laxation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they saw, well, he didn't have the personnel he had, but I mean, he came into the Saints and he had all the talent, and
right.
I mean, and you
Or you look at it like Mickey Loomis did and compare him to all the Hall of Fame coaches that.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow, dude, that press conference, I couldn't sit there and listen to it with the gum smacking. Oh my goodness. And then you start comparing him to Bill Belichick. I'm like, dude,
Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh, Bill Belichick. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, dude, are you all right?
Yeah, I know, right? I know you had told me you didn't like that press conference.
Oh no. Because the main reason why I listened to it was because I heard a rumor that they were he was going to come in and say that he was going to step down, and Kai Harley, the assistant general manager, was going to take over as general manager, and I think he was going to be president of organization or something. But he's still in the organization no matter what, because he's part of when Gail Benson passed away. He's going to be looking over the new ownership and whatnot. Is what I heard.
Yeah.
So him and Dennis, what's his last name? I can't remember his last name, but I think he's the president of operations right now. But they're going to be looking overseeing, the new organization coming in, and they're going to make of course, the Saints aren't going to be moving from New Orleans. That's already been set in stone. That Gail Benson said that's one of the clauses is that they're not going to be moving from New Orleans. They're going to stay in New Orleans. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I think the city would go down if the Saints moved out.
Oh my goodness. I think a lot of the Saints fans would be gone, picketing and whatnot.
yeah.
But
yeah. So, but back to the defense though. I also heard that Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, the veterans like that might end up being cut or traded or something because of the salary cap situation too.
Well, I can see that. I mean, because we're still our salary cap is still horrible. I think we're like 80-something million over still.
Yeah.
So now I heard they might be trading Marshawn Lattimore, which that would be a detrimental move.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's our best cornerback whenever he's healthy.
But I look at it too. Marshawn Lattimore, yes, he's a great corner. You don't want to lose him. But I think I think we'd be okay at corner with Paulson Adebo and Alontae Taylor.
Oh yeah, Alontae Taylor. Yeah. Right, oh yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree 100% on that.
Yeah. So I mean, if you can trade Marshawn Lattimore, maybe for a pick or two, help restock your defensive line or whatever you need, linebackers, because you need linebackers too.
Yeah, definitely. And we need a pass rusher, like I said earlier.
Right.
I mean, we darn need a pass rusher.
Right. Because Cam Jordan, I mean, he's what, 37 years old? He can't or 38, I don't know. He can't he's breaking down now. I mean, he's older. So
I think he's got another 2 years left into him, if that.
If that, yeah.
Now Brian Brzez's performing well too. Looks like he's coming along.
Right. And don't they have another rookie on the defensive line too? I don't remember their name though.
Let me see.
It's slipping my head.
Yeah. Saints defense.
I want to say the first name might have been Isaiah or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Isaiah Foskey. Yes.
Yeah, him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so you can build around those two. I mean, so the Saints got a little work to do. Hope the coaching comes around and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Who do you think they're going to draft in the first round this year?
Uh, I think we all want a quarterback. I
Hmm.
mean, like I talked to you earlier before the show started. I mean, I would love to see him start having a quarterback and get a quarterback in the draft and start developing a quarterback,
Right.
for the future. But I think they should draft their dire needs. I mean, like, you know, wide receiver maybe, but I mean, offensive lineman. It seems like that's what they do in the first round. They take defensive or offensive linemen.
Yeah.
It's mostly what they'll take in the first round. Like, what was it? Last year before last when they took Trevor Penning, and
Right.
who was the other one they took in the first round?
Was it Cesar Ruiz, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz? One of them.
No, they had
Or
two draft picks. It was the
oh,
2021 draft. Yeah, because they traded their draft pick to who was it? The year before. Let me see.
yeah. My memory's not good with all the draft every
Yeah, it's
year.
been a couple years, so it's kind of like
And Eric McCoy, he's still a really good offensive lineman, good center.
yeah.
So
Oh yes, he is.
now, and like Ryan Ramczyk, he's starting to play with injury bugs too. So
Yes, correct. And he's I think I heard he might not be able to play again because I think he hurt his knee bad. If I'm not
yeah, I heard that
mistaken,
too.
that's a rumor, of course, but I
Yeah.
think it's 2022 because in 2021 we took Peyton Turner, which he's been injured a lot, so
Hmm.
he hasn't been playing much. So it's kind of hard to see what kind of player he can be.
Right.
Let's see where we're at. Players. Shots. I remember it was 1 year. Yeah, we took Chris Olave, and yeah, that's what we did. We traded up our first pick for 2023, I believe, or was it? And we took Chris Olave because he was going to be gone before we got to draft him. And
Yeah.
then we took Trevor Penning in number 19 in the first round. So yeah,
Right. Right.
so the that round we looked at offense. We drafted two offensive players, which I
Right.
mean I find Chris Olave is doing well. I mean,
Oh yeah, you're doing good. Yeah.
I mean,
And then yeah, you got Rashid Shaheed,
correct.
Chris Olave,
A.T.
like you
Perry.
said, A.T. Perry. So I mean, I think our wide receivers are in good shape.
Yeah,
So
maybe get one more wide receiver just
yeah,
to
but I don't think you have to get them in the first round though.
no. I mean,
So
who would you pick in the first? What would you pick in the first round if you had the choice?
if I had the choice, the offense is struggling, so I would. I mean, you really, man. I like skill position players
Mhm.
for the first round,
Yes,
but the defense, I'm not worried about too much. They doing their thing. If they're just middle of the road, Saints are good on defense.
yeah,
The offense is where it's struggling because your needs on offense is offensive line.
correct.
That's the biggest need right now. So
Yes,
while I don't want to draft offensive linemen, you probably have to. So I wouldn't draft offensive linemen, but that's the biggest need. So I think that's where they're gonna go.
and I
Um,
always heard too that some people say, well, you always pick the best player that's available whenever it's your turn to draft. But it's like, well, I mean, if the best player available during your draft is a wide receiver, then, well, I need offensive lineman, and they still have a good offensive lineman. In my opinion, you would always take the offensive lineman because that, your needs over the best player.
right.
I
Unless you can
mean,
kind of trade back a few spots and still
yes,
get that offensive lineman there
correct.
and pick up an extra pick here and there,
Hmm.
you can do that too. But
Yes,
yeah, I'm like you. If your needs an offensive lineman and the best receiver is there, while I would like to take that receiver, my biggest need is an offensive lineman. So I would
correct.
probably take the offensive lineman because you
Yeah,
can't go into the year with no Ryan Ramczyk, no Trevor Penning. You don't know what he's going to be at left tackle, And I don't even know if Andrus Pete is gonna be back either. So, you know,
That's our
there's
problem.
Go
Our
ahead.
problem is offensive linemen. They're mostly first round picks, but
Mhm.
they always seem to get injured a lot.
Right. Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
I don't
main.
like when the Saints draft these unknown players from these little bitty
Yeah,
schools.
yeah. Like Peyton Turner, like Houston's like, wait, who is that? Never even heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Or now Marcus Colston was from William and Mary, I believe.
William Mary, yeah. Yeah.
But
Something
he was
like that.
taken.
One of them.
Yeah, but he was taken in the 7th round.
Right.
But
That's okay.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind taking somebody in the 7th round from some community college somewhere I've never even heard of. I mean,
Right.
but
But not the first round.
no. I mean, yeah, I always scratch my head. It's like, you have all these good players, and you pick somebody from some school we never even heard of.
Mhm.
We don't know much about these players. And it's like, huh? And what floors me always to this day was we picked Marcus Davenport, and we
Yeah.
had Lamar Jackson we could have picked.
Yep.
It's like, oh, Saints, what did y'all do? Oh my goodness! But
Yep. Just like the draft with when Patrick Queen was in it from
yeah,
the linebacker from LSU.
yes,
We could have had Patrick Queen and we drafted somebody else. I don't even remember the guy's name. But it's like you look at those picks and like, come on, what were you doing?
yeah, exactly. Let's see, Patrick Queen. I mean,
But yeah, I mean, it's like, and for us, it's easy because I mean, I watch all the big time games, so I know all the players that are really good and stuff.
yeah,
And I'm like, but you're gonna go pick this junior college player or
I
over
think
this guy that I've been watching every Saturday?
that was the draft we picked Cesar Ruiz.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could have had that great linebacker for years,
Yes,
but no, you
correct.
took a guard. So
Oh man, I mean, it's the Saints make some head scratching moves. It's like, what are y'all thinking
yeah.
sometimes? But
And is that
um,
Mickey Loomis or Gail Benson or who is it to blame?
I think it's mostly Mickey Loomis. I think he makes the draft picks, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what the general manager does. Because I asked my coworker at work, I said, well, why does these coaches make all these, crazy draft picks, these dumb draft picks? And he's like, well, it's the general manager that picks them. So it's like, well, if Mickey Loomis is picking them, then,
Yeah.
I mean,
So I
and
guess
I'm pretty sure.
they all discuss it. They talk about who
Yeah,
they each want, but then Mickey Loomis got his final say, basically.
I'm pretty sure he does. I
Yeah.
might be wrong. I might honestly be wrong, but,
Sounds right, though.
yeah.
But of course, we're not working with the team, so
No. I'm not in that organization.
no.
But
So
yeah, just we got a long off season, couple
yeah,
months, and then September starts back up, with the preseason, and
yep,
hopefully, we get our act together, and this is the year, everything starts clicking on both sides of the ball, and special teams has been performing well, I find.
yeah, they have.
Now, the punter, on the other hand, I mean, there was some punts he made. It was like,
Yeah,
really, we got rid of Blake Gilligan, I believe, and
yeah,
we kept this guy. Like, huh?
yeah. He's what 30 years old, huh?
Yeah,
Rookie.
he was a rugby player, I believe.
Yeah.
I
And then your
mean,
kicker, Blake Groupie, he's what 19?
he's like 20, but it looks like he's 15.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
heard the story of where the security thought he wasn't a player
yeah.
or
He
something.
thought he was a fan, and they were trying to block. They blocked him from going in the locker room. He's like, "No, I'm a player."
Yep, that was funny.
I mean, nah, he's a rookie, so of
Yeah,
course we all remember the Green Bay game. We could have won that game, but he
right.
missed the kick. But I mean, he's gonna learn, and he's gonna learn from his mistakes, and I think he's gonna do well.
Yeah, I think so too. So,
Yeah.
So anything else about the Saints you want to talk about, or?
I mean, that's pretty much it. That's just the main topics going on right now. Of course, it's the offense, and we're preparing for the draft, which is going to be at the end of April. So, I mean, you hear snippets here and there. Like, okay, well, at the moment, Ronald Curry's gone, Doug Marone's gone. We got Klint Kubiak coming in, and I mean, in the next couple of weeks, we might have a new quarterback coach. Because I mean, as of this moment right now, Klint Kubiak can't do nothing because he's in the Super Bowl.
Right.
He's preparing for that, of course. So that's why they can't make it official until after the Super Bowl.
Right.
They can't, finalize the deals and whatnot. So, but I'm thinking, because Ross Jackson with Locked On Saints was saying that it's not finalized, but no need to worry because I mean, look, we're already making changes to offense. So, I mean, he's coming in, Klint Kubiak. So, but
so we'll see. It's going to be a good off season here. We'll see who they draft, and hopefully next year they win 10 games and make the playoffs. So
yeah, I mean, we're in the NFC South, so if we won 10 games this year, we could have won the South. But
that's right. Yep.
Yeah, and of course, other teams in the South made some changes as well. So
right,
I look forward to seeing that. So
yeah. So before we go, who's the best coach in NFC South right now?
You got what? You got 3 new head coaches actually. You got Rasheed Morris went to Falcons.
Right.
Well, no, I'll take that back. Todd Bowles is still there.
Yeah,
well,
Todd
I mean,
Bowles Buccaneers.
If you're looking at records, I mean, it would have to be Todd Bowles. I mean, I'm just going off of record wise. I mean, but I really can't say Dennis Allen. It's hard to say Dennis Allen at the moment.
Right. And then the offensive coordinator from the Buccaneers went to Carolina.
Correct.
So,
and then our assistant special teams coach went to Tampa Bay as their new OC. So
right.
Yep.
So
it seems like
it's not a great coaching in NFC South. So
oh no,
got a shot.
And you got to keep in mind next season we got a tough schedule. We're gonna be playing the AFC West. So Sean Payton's coming back to New Orleans.
That's be a good one.
You got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said the Super Bowl winners, but I mean we're not even there yet. Then we play the NFC East again. You play Dallas, you play Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, our schedule's will be tougher than it is this year.
Yep, I think so too. We'll see.
That's all we can do.
Yep. So once a week we'll come on here and
I agree.
Screen.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. I mean, hopefully next week, we'll have more news. We can talk about our new quarterback coach, and I can be more prepared and bring some notes.
There you go.
It's my first live stream ever.
Yep. There you go.
So, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Live streams, but I can't read notes, so
I can be eyes.
Yeah, there you go. Works out good.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. But once again, I appreciate you having me on this show, and I look forward to once a week, and we could discuss, Saints, and even throw some LSU in there every now and then.
Yep.
So.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for joining me. All right, y'all hit the subscribe button, like button, share button, and notification bell, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Adios.
7:34 p.m. for notifications.
Hey, Crystal, you ended it? Did you end it?
I think it's still on.
Yeah, well, if she ends it, we still stay backstage, so it just brings